Hi everybody, this is Big Mama. I was asked to do a tutorial on doing this mosaic tile tag, and so I'm going to try my best. I took the tag, and I have all of these tags here, and I ran some of the distressed ink across the tag, and then used my paintbrush with water, went over that to fade it in. And so now I want to show you, you take your eggshell, and I don't know if you can see inside. I have my camera different than I usually have it, so if I get a little bit goofy, forgive me. There's a membrane inside here. You want to make sure that you get that membrane out, because when you go to glue the eggshell down, it is going to have two layers, and this membrane is going to be where the shell will just pop right off when it dries. So I'm just running my finger down across the shell, trying to remove that. So if this is grossing anybody out, I'm sorry. Another video may be what you want to watch, because this is the process of what I got to do. And I did wash all of this eggshell very well, so I'm not going to contaminate you by watching it. I am not a tutorial kind of gal. I'm just saying. About this point in the videos, when I'm watching tutorials, the ladies will say, "So how's everybody doing out there?" And I'm the gal that always talks back and tells you, like you can hear me. So I want you to know that when I ask on the count of 3, "How's everybody doing out there?" I can't hear you. You'll have to speak up. I did not hear how you were doing. I'm just going to go with everybody's doing wonderful, because you're crafters, and crafting is our own little medication for the crazy that goes on in this world. That's why we are all so normal and the rest of the world is so insane, is because we are crafters, and we know how to make the happy happen. It's the reason why we send to each other them happy mails. All right, did I keep any of that on camera? Let's see if I adjust that a little bit. I have the camera up here. It's my phone. I'm trying to look at the screen to see what you're seeing. It's not necessarily the best situation for me or you, but you didn't quit on me yet, so thank you for not moving out, moving on. Okay, so I have in my possession art glitter glue, and so I'm going to take this art glitter glue, and I am just going to let it squeeze out ever so slowly. How about if I don't use the art glitter glue? And how about if we go with the collage medium, because I have it right here. And get this paintbrush up out of my water. And so almost out. You think Tim Holtz will watch this and say, "Oh, Big Mama's almost out of my collage medium. I need to send her some." I don't know. I'm thinking he won't. Not thinking that this is going to be heavy enough to use. Blop. I actually used some tile glue on the other card, this one here. And it was not necessary, it just happened to be the glue that was on my desk still. And so that's the one I used. Because that's the kind of crafter I am. Okay, blop blop. There it is. It's all on there. Now, I like to just take the shell and just go like that, okay? Because it's so much faster than trying to lay them all down exactly where I want them. So now, get the shell all in here. I know I went quiet, I'm sorry. I'm trying to concentrate and I can't concentrate and talk at the same time because that's what smart people do. I'm not that smart. But you know what? This is fun. It cracks me up. Is this cracking you up? I need to have a friend named Shelley, because then she would be cracked up. I think that one somehow flipped over on me. Yes, it did. See, when that happens, just flip it back, because it will take that glue so much better. Don't ask me why. I am not an expert on why shells do what they do. I just know that this technique has been around for centuries, if not millenniums. I think that there's some of this mosaics that's done with eggshells in China, if I remember my Discovery Channel information. And back years ago when I was teaching art at a private school, I did this project with eggshells with the students. So, you know, kids have to have projects where they can give mom and dad Christmas presents. And I didn't want it to just be refrigerator art. So we made little table coasters. So now they have table art. And I bet you some of them kids, as mom and dad, still have eggshell coasters at their house. Because, you know, you don't throw your baby's work away. Oh, heavens no. You want them to know that you love them, because they are the ones that are going to be picking out your nursing home. That's why my kids are treasured beyond belief, because they have told me, Mom, remember, I will be picking out your nursing home. And so, to move on and not have you know too much of my personal life, I have 2 children, by the way. I have a wonderful, intelligent son, a beautiful, intelligent daughter. I have 4 perfect grandchildren. And I'm saying all of that just in case they watch this video, and it might get me into a better nursing home when I go. But if you want to figure out how to get a hold of me privately, I'll tell you the truth. I have perfect children, perfect grandchildren, and I am not at all cracking you up, am I? Okay. What amazes me about this project is that while I'm videoing this, I am actually continuing to work, and I'm not stopping and just visiting and going, oh, that's right, I was working on a project. Especially when I'm talking about my babies, because I do get sidetracked talking about my babies. So I hope everybody is learning something, even if it's learning the what not to do. I hope you're figuring it out, that Big Mama doesn't always know what she's doing. Well, those of you who have been watching my videos long enough know that it's the crazy people who asked me to do the video. Isn't that the crazy lady doing it? It's that you guys actually asked me to do it. Now, that's like when I used to think I could fly, and them kids at grade school all stood out there in the playground, and I had that team of people who thought I could that stood out there all play period watching me try and rooting me on. Now who's crazy? Me for thinking I could fly, or them cheering me on thinking I could fly? I'm thinking that I held my own with them when it come to crazy. Okay, so what do you think? You got enough shell on there? All right, I'm thinking, what more can possibly happen? Got my shell on there, just like I did the shell on this one. There's the shell. And I'm going to pick it up, and that will dry on there very secure. And I just go and trim up the back side, because you don't want to have any shells overhanging. Oh, come on. Come on. You can do it. And ta-da! Voila. I like voila better than ta-da. And this is the reason why they send them in the mail, so I can use them to glue on and not get ink all over my table. So I have, for your viewing pleasure, also prepared the napkin ahead of time so that you will not have to sit here and watch me try to position it and everything. So I'm going to put what I have left of this and on the eggshell. Some of the eggshell came off. Come here, Shelly. We cannot have that. And I have in here some matte medium. Where is the camera? I think I've got you. There you go. So I put this in my little round thing here to get my glue, so it's easier access for me. And put my napkin down. And because I get really OCD problems. For those of you out there with OCD, I did not mean to minimize yours. It's just a real thing when I have something like this, that's wonky. Now I have Cheryl with ink pulp. I give her a hard time because she is real. She got to have everything pretty symmetrical. I don't know, make it wonky, make it, well, not the butterflies, okay? And so I'm just gonna go over it. I think this is a little candle holder for those little votive candles. Got it at a rummage sale and with a bunch of other stuff. And everything migrates to the crafting room. Oh, that's an extra shell that came off somewhere. If you were wanting by any chance to find a professional who can do these things, you stumbled across the wrong video. Okay. And so I put these darlings on there. And I like it when some of the shell pops through like that, like in here on this. So there's my basic. I'm gonna hit that with a heat gun. You guys wanna hear the noise because I don't know how to edit it out, and I don't. Is that too loud? Did that disturb any of you? Okay. Maybe, since I've warned you ahead of time that I'm getting ready to turn on the heat gun, and I don't know how to edit it out or to turn the sound down. I'm warning you ahead of time so that you can determine whether you need to go in the other room and wait this out. All right, here goes. I can hear you. Can you hear me? I'm still just right here. And if you're in the other room because you don't want to hear this noise, I'm almost done. Bring me a cup of coffee when you come back, okay? I love me some coffee. All right, that should do it. You survived? Come on back. Okay, so I've got a little bit on the edges here, and so I'm just going to trim that. And for all the flaws that are on this tag, like I saw some eggshells that kind of shifted, and this is still a little damp, I will say to you, ta-da! That was the shifting one. That's the shifting one. That's pretty firm. Okay, well, ta-da! There's that one. And the reason why this one looks different, I used on this one, I inked it and then put on the shell. This one that looks a little bit more grungy, I put on the shell and then inked it. And I did that on purpose so that I could show you the two different methods. There are some who will prefer a nice, pretty, prim and proper looking tag like this. But the journal that I'm getting ready to make, I am using Julie's kit that has this pink background that is extremely dark, and so I tore around the edge and grunged up the edge, and I prefer the grungy tag. It'll be on a different page, but I prefer that to be cohesive throughout the book rather than the real pretty bright pink. But there are some of you who really you're going to be working with something totally different. You might have a pretty piece of paper like this that you're working with, and you would prefer this color in your journal with these lighter colors versus having the dark one. So I wanted to show you those two. This is using the putting the eggshells on and then going over it with the ink and then the water and letting that settle down into the card. And this is putting the ink on the card and then putting on the eggshell. So those are your differences between the two. All right, so that is my 20-minute tutorial on how Big Mama decided to do this. And you have fun, watch some other tutorials and see how to do it right, and have a good day.